This woman has a huge head, and her own sister looks like this. They look completely different now. They were both beautiful when they were little. Everything changed that day. The White Queen stole a biscuit. The crumbs fell on the floor. The White Queen kicked the crumbs under her sister's bed. The Queen Mother found out and asked which of them had stolen the biscuits. The White Queen refused to admit it. The Queen immediately thought it was the Red Queen. The aggrieved Red Queen ran out, but she accidentally hit her head on the steps, so she became the head of the table. On the day of the succession, as the eldest daughter, the Red Queen took over the throne, but when it came time to wear the crown, her head was too big. The crown broke. The audience laughed. The Red Queen shouted angrily that she would kill anyone who laughed, but when the king saw this, he decided to let the White Queen succeed the throne. This aroused the Red Queen's strong resentment. She left this place. She set up her own kingdom elsewhere and conquered an evil dragon. But years passed. The Red Queen still harbors a grudge. She wants to fight the White Queen. The only way for the White Queen to defeat her dragon is to find Alice, the daughter of the prophecy. At this time, Alice's family is bankrupt. She can only accept the proposal of a rich man, but Alice didn't want to marry someone she didn't love. At the engagement ceremony, Alice was attracted by a rabbit to a hole. She looked inside. She fell in by accident. Alice fell into a secret room. She found a bottle of water on the table, and she was told to drink it. Alice directly drank the water. In an instant, her body drastically reduced in size. Now she was just big enough to fit through the door of the chamber. Alice walked out. A whole new world appeared in front of her. It's said to be the Wonderland of many a girl's dreams. As soon as Alice walked in, she met the Fat Brothers. She met many talking animals. Under their guidance, Alice opened the book of the realm of the gods, and learnt of her mission to defeat the dragon. Before she could think about it, a big, hairy beast came out. Alice froze in fear. A mouse came out and stabbed the beast in the eye. Alice tried desperately to escape, but she left the scroll of the divine realm behind. Unfortunately, the scroll was found by the Red Queen's personal guard. He reported its contents to the Red Queen. He learned that his dragon would be killed by Alice. The Red Queen immediately ordered. She sent her guards and the black dog to find Alice. On the other side, Alice met an illusionist cat in the forest. The cat brought Alice to the Mad Hatter. Once the Mad Hatter saw Alice, he was very excited to see Alice, because they have been waiting here for many years. But before they could say anything, Black Dog arrived here. In a moment of crisis, the Mad Hatter gave Alice a little potion. Then he put her on his hat. He told Alice to hurry and find the White Queen. Then he flung the hat across the river. When Alice came back to her senses, the Hatter had been captured, but the Black Dog didn't come to get her. It turns out that the Black Dog was also forced by the Red Queen. When it learnt of Alice's prophecy of killing the dragon, it planned to help Alice. Alice asked him to take her to the Red Queen's castle. She wanted to save the Mad Hatter. The smaller Alice went through the gap in the wall and managed to get into the castle. But as soon as she came in, she saw the Red Queen playing golf. The flamingos were the clubs. The hedgehog was the ball. The rabbit, who came to collect the ball, saw Alice. He knew Alice wanted to save the Hatter, so he gave her a piece of cake that grew bigger. Alice ate it and became a giant. The Red Queen found Alice. Alice explained that she was kicked out by her family because her head was too big. This made the Red Queen empathize with her. She invited Alice into the castle as a guest of honor. How bossy is this woman? Whenever she lifts her foot, a piglet runs to her feet, and used his warm belly as a cushion for her feet. Alice was not happy with this behavior. Luckily, she found the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter told her to go to the dungeon to get the sword that could defeat the dragon. Alice went to the dungeon, only to find the behemoth guarding the sword, but she soon realized that the beast was suffering from the loss of his eye. She immediately found the mice, and got the behemoth's eye back, and gave him the behemoth's eye back to thank Alice for letting her have Excalibur. But just as Alice was about to leave the castle, the Red Queen also learnt of Alice's true identity, ordered to surround Alice. At the critical moment, the behemoth rushed out and took Alice away, finally escaped from the danger. Alice successfully handed over Excalibur to the White Queen, and the Hatter and the cat joined forces to create a rebellion. They escaped to the White Queen's palace with the Black Dog. When the Red Queen learnt about it, she was very angry. She challenged the White Queen with her army. The White Queen also brought her army to the final duel. When the two sisters met, the White Queen tried to persuade her sister. She didn't want to start the battle, but the Red Queen still remembers the past. She wanted to fight the White Queen. She sent her dragon to fight. Alice also took her Excalibur and prepared to fight. As the prophecy predicted, Alice succeeded in defeating the dragon. The Red Queen's soldiers surrendered. The crown flew over the White Queen's head. The White Queen was given the right to rule, banished the Red Queen to a remote place. Peace has finally returned to Wonderland. It was time for Alice to return to human life. She bid a fond farewell to the Mad Hatter. She returned to the engagement. Alice rejected the man she didn't like. She decided to inherit her father's sailing business.